Alright, well I just finished editing this and I thought I'd put a little disclaimer up front. So this turned out to take a lot longer than I wanted to, and if you really want to stick around and watch how I operate, I encourage you to watch the video. If you just want to see what the build looks like and hear my conclusions on everything, skip to about 6 minutes from the end, about the 43-minute mark, and you can pretty much get the gist of everything. So, thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoy whatever you choose to watch, and watch me stumble around a bit. Hi. So I'm making a kind of different video than what I've normally made today. Today I'm trying to show off how I go about setting up a early game base. And I've been watching a lot of other people do this online, and what I do is different. So I thought it was worth putting up how I do it as an alternative. So right here, this is my early game science base. And it generally produces 120 blue, 60 red. Those are the numbers I'm testing with right now, because I am trying to race against this thing unlocking planetary logistic stations and my being able to mass produce planetary logistic stations. So let's get going, because we are on the clock. So I am not going to build on this world. I am going to build on that world.
You can control the mecha, go to different planets or planetary systems by following the arrows in the space navigation. Hold down the shift key to accelerate, back arrow key to slow down. You can also use the Q, R keys to hold down the right mouse button, dragging to sideward flight.
Alright, so I don't like building on the homeworld because it requires a lot of concrete when you lay things out like I do in little rows, and those shorelines just really get in the way. And two, I just don't like ruining such a pretty planet. There's all these dead planets out here, and I'd much rather just produce on them than, kill every tree, fish, and everything on a very nice tropical world. So this is my fourth experiment in doing a bootstrap mall. Bootstrap malls are kind of a new thing to me because previously I had been designing stuff so that my plots would sort of grow up as the game progressed. They'd start off with storage containers, then move on to logistic stations, and you could just add assemblers and whatever you need to them as things went on. But I think the game has progressed in terms of how easy it is to delete things, and in terms of once blueprints hint how easy it will be to make these things, that my guess is it's going to be a lot simpler just to have some designs for different phases of the game. So this is a design for a phase before I have logistic stations, and it's intended to build logistic stations. So that's the whole point of what I'm doing here. It's still fairly modular, and it's still kind of within my design aesthetic. But it's going to be, intended for maybe an hour, hour and a half of gameplay. So the other thing I'm doing here is I'm trying to create a mall world, and that is also a little bit different for me. Generally, I have had fairly, general purpose planets, but I want a mall world because I find that the buildings kind of mess up your statistics panel. So I think if I can isolate all the buildings to a planet, then my statistics will be a lot cleaner when I start going to another world and build, solar sails and rockets or something, or another build where I build up all my science, and then I'll be able to make sure that everything's balanced out and not screwed up by these buildings in terms of, their consumption and stuff. So that's why I'm trying to isolate this all to a world. All right, so here's my world. I gotta find some place to set up. I need all my resources. So I got iron, silicon, copper, I got stone, I got coal, I got titanium. This looks great. I am going to build, I think, let's see how far up. We have, certain latitudes that I'm going to be building at. So this might be in the way. If it isn't, then we're going to build right under that. So I have 3 designs that I am testing out here today. One for smelters, one for assemblers, and one for generating, graphene? I don't remember exactly what it's called. Do I have it? I don't think I've unlocked it. This thing here. Graphene, yeah. So, alright, so I'm building along this thing. That is actually, I think if I just put this on the far end, and then I got silicon, where's the iron? I need iron. Let's just build along this line here. Okay, So first I'm going to put down my smelter plot. So what I am pretending here is that I have blueprints, and I'm going to put all my blueprints down at once as soon as I land here. So that is what this experiment is. It's a little bit different from previous experiments where I had just been working on what the actual designs were and building them up as I constructed stuff. But I realized that wasn't realistic. If I had blueprints, I'd just be putting them down really rapidly. Uh-oh. All right, well, I guess I have too many sorters, so let's just stop that and we'll get some more later and pick those up because I am going to need them. All right, so this is my smelter design. It is very straightforward. I think I'm short a smelter. All right. Nope, I did those backwards. So my hope is this entire thing would be one blueprint, and I would plot this down 7 times. All right, so I got 6 of those. Okay, so then I'm going to go right over here. And I'm going to build it again. And I am going to cut away, and you can see it when all 7 are built, because it's not that interesting to watch. Hi, it's me from the future. Experiment 4 failed. It took about 40 minutes longer to do the construction than the planetary logistics stations. And I botched the recording anyway, and I didn't want to rerun the recording of a botched experiment, because that seemed to be pointless. So then I ran experiment 5, in which the difference being that I upgraded all these technologies at the very beginning to make my Icarus more effective and to delay the planetary logistics stations, and that worked fairly well. But it was a little bit twitchy at the end, trying to keep everything running. So experiment 6, I'm going to try to automate things a little bit more. So that means I have to put things here in a pretty particular order. So we're going to have our silicon over here. We are going to have our copper right in here. I still want the iron here. And I want the steel here. And I think the magnets need to be here. Okay. And put that there. The last two don't really matter too much. I don't think I've unlocked titanium smelting yet. Make sure that's in the tech tree. Okay. All right. So now let's get back to it. So the next thing to do here, oops, missed one. Is to draw out the assembler plots. So that goes like this. So the bottom plot here is a 1 and 2 input plot. One input, that's the other input, that's the output. And then, gonna need those. Need about 20 Mark II sorters. That's 40. Alright, so what I had input, no. Output, input. Okay. And then up here, I have a 3 and 4 input plot. Put that right there. And I'm going to need those solar panels pretty soon. All right. Okay, so those are assembler plots. Again, this is for 1 and 2 inputs, and this is for 3 and 4. For the 4 input, basically these 2 lines will be different inputs. For the 3 input, these 2 lines will be the exact same input. Okay, so now I have to repeat this 5 more times all the way down there. So I will be back when that is done. Okay, we appear to be all done. And we are just about out of belts. So the first thing we really need to do is build belts. So let's go down and start mining our iron. I might get enough belts to get up here. That would be nice. Okay. So I need just 3 of these. You know what? I'll do 4. 2 for the iron and 2 for the magnets. Okay. But we're just going to do the iron belts now. I don't want to spend... my precious belts on the magnets, because I'm not going to need them for a little bit. So you got that in there. Alright. So that's all I got. Okay, so let's build this out. Right now, I'm almost always waiting on my little drones to construct things, so they're not quite as fast as I am, but I can't upgrade them anymore. But I certainly look forward to being able to do that. Oh, are you kidding me? Right there? Alright, so where can I steal one from? I'm going to steal that. I need 1 more. Okay. So we owe steel 1 belt. Oop, we didn't put any sorters up here. Okay. Okay. So we're going to need some gears and we're going to need some belts. Ooh, and I have enough energy to fly. I will take that. So this is going to be our gears. And we're not going to need those. And we're going to put that to iron. Iron and gears. And let's go get some iron. Alright. So we're going to put this about evenly. A little more. Make sure everything works fine. Iron's coming out. For this one, we don't have to sort because it only has one input, so yay. I appear to be missing. This is. Wow, this is just not lined up right at all. Wait, oh, I see. Yeah, that's bad. Okay. So, obviously, hopefully, if I had a blueprint, I wouldn't be making these mistakes. Okay. Not sure what the problem is. Okay, there I go. Alright, there go my gears. Go up here, let's set this to belts. Great. So while I was building that, I'm sure I accumulated some more iron that I'm gonna definitely need. So that's going along pretty well. This creates iron pretty quickly, so that should create enough belts for me to be happy with for a while. Alright, so hopefully that is going to be enough for me to take down this iron and automate the steel production. So we're going to bring that down to like right there, go like that, get that out of the way, put these down right there. Ooh, I'm almost out of sorters too, but I don't actually see myself needing many more sorters. So I'm not going to fully output this. I just wanted this to get running. I'm going to need 16 stacks of steel. So I just want to make sure the steel is working at all. Okay, so I'm okay with power, but I'm going to want to get up on my solar panels. So I'm going to need silicon. Okay. Okay. And I'm going to need copper. Come on. Alright. That's sick. I'll take it. Oh, on our belts. But hopefully I should have several hundred by now. Okay. Yeah, of course that wind tower's in the way. There we go. Okay, so I go all the way down here. Does that break the line? No, I got a redundancy there. Okay. So let's make sure copper's working. So we want this. And that's going to be... It doesn't really matter for those which output I choose. They're both equally fast. Not much copper, but let's get it running. Okay, now this, we kind of screwed up. We should have set the filter first. So we're going to export some stuff we don't need. Alright, and we're going to set filter to that guy. And you are going to be copper. Okay, so I had those stockpiled. Sure, I don't need all those, but let's get these ships off my lines. There we go. And building solar panels. Okay. Getting any? Still collecting enough stuff. Okay. So off they go. So while that's running, I am going to let's just put this there, and we'll use Mark II sorters. Okay. And so this is the automation I'm trying out. Obviously nothing super fancy here. Okay. So these are going to be computers. And we're going to add this guy over here. I don't particularly like how this looks, but I don't think it's that bad either. And, you know, there's no point lamenting not having logistics stations, because I don't. Okay. Alright, so over here, we're going to build circuit boards. And on top of circuit boards, I don't know what we're building. On top of computers, this is where I'm going to put the towers. So let's put iron there. Let's put computers there. Let's put titanium here. And let's put... Have I unlocked those plasma containers? Just about. We'll just wait a sec. There. Okay. Alright, so we're just going to do Mark 1 sorters for the iron because we need that like everywhere. And this is going to go here, I think, like this. Yep, and there I am running out of power. So let's finish this up and go get some solar panels, shall we? So you can see I'm really just too slow, but again, I'm hoping that's okay. This is not sorted to iron. Did I do any of these orders? Probably not. Okay. And of course, I think these are supposed to be sorters. Okay. Now, obviously, I won't actually build sorters unless I put iron into here. So that will allow me to stockpile circuit boards. Okay. And then finally comes out here, and I'm probably going to need more belts again. But let's go do power first. Okay, 30, not enough, but certainly a good start. So I need some more silicon and copper there. Let's get that going. Alright, that should be enough solar panels for the rest of the game. Or the rest of this video, I guess, at least. Alright, so processor seems to be working swimmingly. And you know what, let me go see how close the homeworld is. Because we gotta make a couple trips there, and this seems like a good time. Because we need to pick up oil and we need to pick up water. So we're just gonna flop down these over here. Yeah, I know. And let's get some more belts running. And then we're going to head out. Alright, so alright, that should be probably more belts than I need, actually. Okay, so we'll keep that, and let's just throw it in here. Okay, so now let's go over. So I don't want to use too much power on this trip because I'm going to have to hop right back after I'm going to get my oil, and I need enough energy for that. And then I'm going to need to hop back for water. So I'm still acting on my coal at this point. You can see I'm actually getting pretty close to logistics stations. So I'm a little worried about the time, but I think so far the build's going pretty well. I think I'm on the north hemisphere here. Doesn't look like it. Alright, nope. So that's a lot of power I'm spending flying to the right place. So it's on the southern hemisphere. Okay. So I'm going to save here because sometimes I drop stuff. And I'm just going to be carrying this in my hand the whole way. Which can be a little bit scary. So eventually this will be handled by interstellar logistics stations, but I'm nowhere close to that. So I'm hoping to pick up enough that I don't have to do any more runs until I have interstellar logistics stations. I'm not sure that's possible, but I don't really use a lot of graphene other than to build up my particle containers, up to build my logistics stations. So I'm not too worried about it. Oops. All right, so I made it back to my home world. And we're going to drop off the oil. Hopefully safely. And then we're going to go back to water. And I'm going to save you the trouble of watching all that and just come back when I have both water and oil in my tank. Okay, I'm back and research is ticking down. We probably just have about less than 10 minutes. I don't think I'm going to get this done in that time, but you gotta try, right? And, you know, again, you're just doing the best you can here. Alright, pop, 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 pop. Let's get this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, great, don't need that. Let's set that to gears. And let's set that to gears. And let's set that to magnets. And clear out those lines. I actually should affirmatively set that to iron. Okay. So I need magnets because I never set up that run. So basically, experiment 5, I was pretty consistently building. I finished the research around 2:30, and I think I screwed up the research slightly because obviously this is going faster. So I'm trying to beat, I think, 2:30 at this point. See if this automation actually helps too much with that. Okay. So let's.
You can try to build them vertically to make more efficient use of space.
So this one goes over. Let's put that. Okay. And then we're going to have copper. Wow, I really don't like how this looks. Let's just go with that. Yeah, I'll come back. Okay, this guy's going out here. Okay, same out here. Alright, so this is not going to hold anything, but those are all the places copper needs to go, so I don't have to worry about the fact that I'm not holding on to anything. You know what? Alright. There's copper. Where are my magnets? I don't have any power. I'll do that. I'm going to downgrade these because I already have enough of them. I'm assuming. Okay. Alright, so we're going to need to run these magnets to here. And we're going to need to run these motors to here. Alright, what do we got? Oh, these are all blocked up with the wrong stuff. Right? So what am I missing here? Not having any gears? I don't have any gears. This is not supposed to be iron. Let's clean it out. So this is going to be my turbines. This is going to be my particle containers. Alright, so what else do I need for those? I need carbon and copper. Ooh. That's not great. I'm going to run out of copper. So we're going to have to downgrade that, pick up all this copper. Don't know if this will be enough for all the particle containers I need to build. Now we got to go work on the graph. Okay, so I'm back. Still plagued by power problems. But let's see if this is at least working. Okay. So I still really do not have a lot of this. So that's going to have to be fixed shortly. Because I'm really, really low on that energetic graphite. I made a mistake there. I think in my previous build I carried a bunch back from the other planet. But I forgot to do that. And I'm not going to another planet just for that. Well, sorry about that rough break. I had to... got interrupted unexpectedly there. Okay, so let's finish this thing up. So I got lots of steel. I don't have lots of titanium. I should be able to get some titanium. So, while I was away, I had some time to think about how this is going, and let's see. I mean, the time so far is pretty good. I'm not unhappy with the fact that I'll probably have my first logistics station built 2 hours and 40 minutes into the game. So I think in that way that's a success. I think obviously I didn't get done when the tech was done, but that was more of a stretch goal than I thought was a particular thing I wanted to get, or thought I could get. And I was hoping that with blueprints I would be able to. But I'm just not sure about this entire concept now. Because in my mind, the blueprints, you'd smack them down and you'd very quickly have these things. But the truth is, at this point in the game, your little drones, what are they called? Yeah, these little drones are kind of slow. And because they're so slow, it actually takes quite a while for these things to get built. I mean, even with the upgrade tier 2 stuff, I was laying this stuff out faster than I could, than the drones could build them. And so, given that's the case, and so the next thing I build is to build my real plots with real logistic stations, it's going to take the drones a long time to build those. And I'm wondering if, in fact, the entire concept here is just wrong. Why aren't I getting any computers out here? This bell's going the wrong way? Oh, I see. That's coming in from over there. So that's producing steel. Oh, this guy's getting them all. Okay, so let's just take that out here. And this guy stopped into what's wrong? Out of carbon. I really want to get at least one logistics station built, in case you're wondering. So I'm gonna just sort of try next. Back at that science base on the home world, building up a lot. Like here I brought in like 56 assemblers and I brought 42 smelters so that I could lay these out and I was ready. And just to sort of there, maybe set up like little one assembler plots to produce my assemblers and smelters and sorters and belts so that I can come out here and lay out full plots of 20 assemblers and start that way. And rather than actually having to spend the time of my drones building up all this stuff here, they'll just spend the time building up the regular plots, and then I will upgrade them as I have been doing in the past. So I think that will overall take a little bit longer to get to the point where I'm building this stuff. I put this in the wrong bin, didn't I? But I think it'll make the game faster because by the time I do get logistics stations, doing the upgrade is going to be quicker than having the drones assemble the whole plot. And I really didn't factor in the time for the drone assembly because I'm used to playing later in the game and drone assembly is quick. But here it's not. So that's kind of where my feeling is now with this experiment after this is my 6th run through it. I'm going to save off the game here. So if I want to come back and compare how long it takes to build up real plots. But, here I don't even build assemblers. I haven't done that. I plan to do that once I got logistics stations. I don't build drones. I plan to do that with logistics stations. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done before I can even create plots at this point. The first thing I was going to create a little mini plot for assemblers and tie that to logistics stations. So there's work to be done there. Okay, did I get one? Yep. All right, you're processing. So that's kind of where I'm at with this right now. That I think this is an interesting idea. It's certainly faster than I've ever gotten logistics stations before. I mean, my previous best was kind of around 5 hours, but that was mostly due to research being much slower, and I was producing at kind of lower volumes and wasn't scaling up very quickly. So I'm going to try the opposite, where I scale up extremely quickly and just sort of see how that goes. All right, so, well, thank you for watching. If you have any ideas how I could shave off 15, 20 minutes off the time here, or if you have any ideas just generally of things you think that would make this startup work a little bit better, that would be great. Leave them in the comments. I hope that at least this gave you an idea of how to do something different than what everyone's doing, something a little more orderly, a certain more focused, than kind of the dragging everything across the entire planet. And maybe it made you a little less hateful of moving crap between boxes. I don't love moving crap between boxes, but I don't think it's that bad. Oh, and we have a logistics station, so let's mark the time. 2 minutes and 41 seconds. All right. So, thank you very much. I'm probably going to just save this off and never look at this thing again. So, thanks for watching.